Hello, hello, hello. Yes. Okay. So they can hear us on the Zoom now.
Yep, we can hear you.
You can start the presentation.
Yeah, he can start the presentation and you'll be able to see it.
سعید جان لطفا برید فواد آماده است که
Hello. Okay, may I start the presentation?
You
Are
mind?
we good to start?
Oh yeah. Okay, cool. They can hear it.
Yep, awesome.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Awesome. Bye. So, hello everyone. Good afternoon. Can you hear me? Do you hear me? Hello.
فواد can you hear me؟
Okay.
بله.
Yeah. Cool. You just hit. It's not the.
الان میشنوم. الان دارم صدا. بله بله الان صدا هم بشه. احمد رضا جان من صداتون دارم. Hey, I can hear you.
Okay, okay. Give me one
Yep,
minute and then I'll let you know to start the presentation. Go ahead, Said.
awesome, thank you.
Fajan, go ahead.
Yep. So, hey everyone, good afternoon. My name is Fuad Nik, co-founder and CEO of Cleverite, and this is Amir, my brother, co-founder and CTO. So have you ever called a business to ask a simple question, but got stuck on hold forever? Or maybe you tried calling to track your order, but the business was closed for the day? I think we have all shared the same frustration. Businesses have challenges providing high quality customer service. HR training and maintaining support staff is expensive and time consuming. And when those well trained customer support teams decide to leave the company, the businesses have to start all over again. And businesses can't afford 24/7 support staff and can't handle concurrent calls. And poor customer service lead to missed opportunities and lost revenue. At Cleverize, we make businesses more clever by providing them with AI phone agents that are available 24/7 and can handle unlimited concurrent calls. And our AI is way more efficient than traditional staffing, and we have built the application to be a no-code solution, meaning that there is zero technical knowledge and there is zero prompt engineering needed from business owners to set up our AI. They just have to feed our AI with the same information that they give to their support staff, and their job is done. The conversation that you have with our AI and the voices of our AI are pretty natural, human-like, not like a bot. We have built custom integrations with different platforms, and you can in our application you can define different scenarios for the call to be transferred to one of the departments or the staff. Our assistants continuously improve themselves based on the conversation history and the analytics and the experiences it has had with the customers. HIPAA compliance is fully integrated in our platform, meaning that with the healthcare providers and healthcare sector, we track no data and we track no analytics. And we also support more than 100 languages. And let's talk about the markets. The intelligent virtual assistant market size currently sits at around $20 billion per year, and it is expected to grow by 24% per year and reach $178 billion by 2034, which makes today the perfect time to enter this market. And of course, there are other players, and we have mentioned some of them here, and we keep monitoring them. With Slang.ar, they have built a tailored solution for restaurants with limited customizations at a premium price point. And with Plan.ai, they have built a highly technical, advanced solution, mostly suited for agencies and developers. Our no-code, no-prompt application not only have high customizations, but also have one more competitive advantage, pre-existing knowledge about customers. So if you call your mechanic shop, it already knows your vehicle history, and it won't ask you for your vehicle registration number, and it already knows what services are due. Our marketing strategies include partnership and alliances with different agencies, CRM providers, and booking systems, as well as digital marketing channels, including Facebook ads, Google ads, SEO, and email marketing. We operate on a solid, straightforward, and flexible subscription basis, starting at $199. That suits small businesses with only one location, like restaurants and spas, up to $799 for growing businesses. We also offer custom pricing with larger enterprises that have larger volume of calls and need custom integrations with their existing infrastructure. Today, we are seeking $500,000 to fund our pre-seed round with a SAFE agreement, and most of the fund will be invested in marketing, and around 44% will be invested in product development and staff. My name is Fuat Nick. I'm co-founder and CEO, and this is actually my second startup. The first one was a fashion e-commerce in Tehran, and we raised a pre-seed, seed, and Series A funding round. It's still operating, supporting its customers with more than 65,000 SKUs. I had the honor and privilege to get the pre-seed funding and get mentored by some of the familiar faces of Plug and Play, including Ahmad Reza Masroor, Omid Zarifpour, Rahim Amidi, and Ali Reza Masroor. I have a bachelor's in information technology, master's in entrepreneurial management, and my machine learning certificate from Stanford. And I have partnered with my brother, who has master's in data science and have academic knowledge and technical experience in machine learning and AI. Thank you for your time today, and I will answer any questions that you may have.
That was on slide 4. Okay, which one of them is scariest of all?
Sorry.
Did you hear my question?
What was that?
Did you hear
Yeah,
my?
I
Okay.
No, not completely. Just heard the last part.
Okay. In the list of competitors you have, which one is the most important one?
We would say Plan.ai has the nose in front. They have raised $20 million so far, and they work with lots of agencies. They have built lots of integrations, but as I said, their system is not built for small businesses to use the platform themselves, as it's highly technical and it needs lots of prompt engineering.
And are you open to combine forces with them?
Definitely we could consider, yeah.
That's part of the model that you have. You're not averse to that.
Sorry, what was that?
You are not against collaborating and combining forces with them.
Definitely not.
Okay, I don't have any
Definitely
extra
not.
information. I just wanted to see where your mindset is. If there are no other
Yeah.
questions, we thank Fuad for his presentation. The second presentation is done by Yashar Sayed Wahidin. The company is Coredio. Yashar Jan.
Hi everyone, my name is Yashar Wahidain. I'm co-founder and CEO at Cordio. Some of you may remember us. We presented about a year and a half ago, and now we're kind of presenting. Today I'm going to present some of our latest developments, and for those that haven't heard about us, you're going to hear about what we're doing. We're really excited about that. At Cordio, we're building the first ever personalized at-home monitoring platform for heart failure management. We do that only by using the wearables that most of us already have, as well as a blood pressure cuff. And we can, using AI and physics-based algorithm, we are able to generate data that is comparable to catheterization, or what we call it as angio. So this is the power of Cordio and what we can do. And the main problem that we are tackling first is heart failure problem. Heart failure is one of the biggest cardiovascular issues both around the globe as well as in the US. Every year in US, 1 million additional patients are added to this number that you're seeing over here. And the reason for that is that 40% of the patients who have heart failure never receive the gold standard of care, such as catheterization or echo, while they're in the hospital. So when they're getting discharged, they go home with still a decompensated heart. And when they go home, they just go home with a scale and a blood pressure cuff, which are not at all enough to monitor their heart condition. So that's why half of them come back under 6 months, and 23% come back under 1 month to the hospitals. And this is very important, both for the patients, because a lot of them might lose their lives, a lot of them might come back with much worse conditions, and also hospitals lose a lot of money when the patient comes back under 30 days. And after 30 days, insurance companies lose money. So if we could find a way to monitor these patients the same way as a catheterization, that would save a lot of patients as well as save a lot of money for the hospitals. And that's exactly what we are doing at Cordio. We're building the first ever non-invasive platform that can access the same cardiac information such as a catheter, but only using available wearables such as your Apple Watch, Samsung Watch, Fitbit, as well as a blood pressure cuff. This is very important for cardiologists. We talked with more than 60 cardiologists, and they told us that if you can measure the intercardiac pressures and cardiac output, we can use that information to manage the medication of these patients in a more effective way while they're at home. And that means we can save these patients. Currently, there's no way to do this thing. So instead of your current Apple Watch and a blood pressure cuff that only takes your ECG, takes your pulse ox and blood pressure, using our AI and physics-based algorithm, you can have a heart failure management tool that measures some of the key signals that you can only get currently at the cath lab. This is very important for the cardiologists and heart failure nurses to monitor their patient after discharge. So let's take a look at this together. We have a quick demo to show how it looks. The doctors will be able to log into our software platform, look at the patients that they're monitoring, and what the patient takes home is basically just their watch with our app on it, as well as a blood pressure cuff. They will just use the ECG sensor on the watch, take the data, and we will be receiving the data from ECG, pulse ox, and blood pressure cuff, and using our AI algorithms, we are able to translate that to these cardiac signals. Now, the heart failure nurse and the cardiologist can look at these data and see how the medication management is working on the patient. Are they getting better or are they getting worse? much earlier than what they currently can do. And that will basically save the patient by managing their medication better. So this is something that we're not the first one that are thinking about it. There are more companies that are thinking about this because it's very important. And currently the solutions are either too risky, too expensive, too invasive, or some of the new ones that you see on the top, they are building their own devices. They are non-invasive, but they're building their own devices, which cardiologists hate actually, because they don't like to purchase new devices and send it home with the patient, because it needs a lot of technical support and it needs a lot of recalibration. So that's where we come in. We built the first ever device agnostic technology. We use the same devices that you already have, and we build it in a patient specific way. So when the patient comes to the office of the doctor, we calibrate it for them and then send the patient home. No need for further calibration. We got really fantastic results recently. We're really happy about this. Our AI models are showing 90% plus accuracy against the catheterization, showing that we can predict the LVDP, which is the filling pressure of the heart of the patient, as well as the central venous pressure of the patient, two of the key metrics with more than 90% accuracy among 60 patients data that we collected in 3 US hospitals. This is fantastic news, and that's actually giving us a lot of traction toward our goals for raising our current round, as well as getting this to the hands of the patient. The market is huge. It's a $6.2 billion market. We have a $2.3 billion SAM, which we calculated based on the number of cardiologists that exist in US, as well as the heart failure nurses. And our beachhead is 6% of the hospitals that have the highest number of admissions and readmissions for heart failure. We already raised about 500K of our current round. We are going for FDA pre-submission this year, and then we already have 3 hospital sites that are working with us, and we're collecting proprietary data that we use both for our AI model training as well as our validation. And next, we're gonna get our FDA clearance, start selling to the hospitals, and each year double the number of hospitals until we reach 200 hospitals and 760 million valuation. We have a fantastic team of engineers, as well as commercialization people that worked previously at J&J and Abbott. We have people from cardiologists from Mass General Hospital, even people that now work at Meta, they were cardiologists. And we also have a FDA regulatory team, as well as AI and software development team that worked at Stanford, as well as Verily and other companies. Currently, we're raising $1 million, and this is with a 6.5 million post-money cap. This valuation will most likely increase in the next 2 weeks since we got this new results, and this will be used toward our FDA pre-submission and building our full platform. Feel free to scan this QR code, connect with us if you want to know more. I guess this is not working anymore, but yeah, I'd love to talk to you further and show you also our demo. So looking forward to connecting with you. Thank you.
Live signals captured from the
Share?
Samsung Galaxy Watch 6
No.
along with a
Works? Okay. All right.
Thank you very much, Shahjan. Anybody has any question? Yes, over there. Please say your affiliate. This goes up after.
Hi, Sarah at MW. My question for you is, considering that the courses are not medical
So actually the devices that we're using are medical grade devices. For example, Apple Watch already has FDA clearance for their ECG sensor as well as their pulse ox sensor. We only use the devices that have either FDA clearance or are planning to have that. And those will be basically cleared by us to say, yeah, we can service this device. Thank you.
You said you're going for FDA approval. Are you doing a 510
We're doing a 510K. Yes, there are predicates that we are using, but at the same time, we're going for breakthrough designation. So we already submitted for breakthrough designation. We got some response. We actually responded to their FDA's concerns. They really liked everything that they saw. They just wanted more data, and now we have more data. Which one?
Now you're answering questions. So let's keep it to him answering questions. Thank you very much.
Discuss more.
There's time for maybe we can. One more. Okay, one more. Any money more. Over there.
Hi, Farzan, Sierra Skin. So great idea. I think that there's a simpler solution, and it's the fact that you're like kind of device agnostic, you discovered is great, is extremely smart. So kudos to that part. But I think that the easiest way of detecting someone who has heart failure is weight gain. So as long as you come up with an AI model that can predict with their scale in the house, can detect that, we're pretty much done. You don't have to measure all those Apple Watch measurements yet.
Great question.
Wasn't a question, but that's fine.
I mean, there's a good answer for that. Exactly the reason that we're doing is that the scale is not enough. So weight gain is the latest sign of someone getting worse with a decompensated heart failure. So when you already started gaining weight, it's already 5 to 10 days past the time that you needed medication titration. So when we can access signals such as left ventricle and diastolic pressure or central venous pressure, we can give the doctors the power that they have in the hospital. So they can see these signs 5 to 10 days in advance. There are some tools, invasive tools that can do this. Like for example, there's an implantable that they can put in the patient. But since this is invasive, only 12,000 of them are done per year that can actually that they showed they can do much better than a scale. But we do the same thing without any invasive thing, without the wait for that 10 days that they need to gain weight. So that saves a lot of lives, actually.
Yashajan, thank you very much. Big helping.
Thank you all.
Now we come to the fireside chat part of the program. And tonight we have a remarkable person with a remarkable journey. And I would try to learn more about him, and you would be the witness of his life story and also his technical success. I don't want to say anything else. I would like him to be the narrator of the story. I would be just the talker and enabler. Without further ado, I would like to invite Mehrzad Samadi to come over here. Mehrzad, thank you very much for accepting Plug and Play Persian Tech Network's invitation to come and enlighten us about a lot of things that you know, and I'm sure is welcome by the audience over here.
Thanks a lot. Hello, beautiful people. Thanks a lot for coming. It's really fun to see all of you here. Most of them are my friends. They already know my story. They're here to support me, basically.
You're jockeying for my position.
But before, I will forget at the end. I want to thank Plug and Play, Amar Rezajan, Dr. Tabesh, and you, Saijan, and everyone involved for having me here. I hope it's fun. And let's do it, as we said, do it faster and get to the question and answer. Yeah.
Okay, let's go from the beginning. Well,
Sure.
I want to give them a preview. You worked on a company, Parabricks, for 4 or 5 years, and then you sold it to NVIDIA for a humongous amount of money.
Very big.
Very big. So that is the validation that why people should listen. That's one of the reasons why people should listen to you. Another reason that they should listen to you is you have an unique life story in that you are an individual contributor, although you were in the ranks of management and go up there, but you decided not to. Um, and also, I would like to discuss how much luck was involved in your journey. Was it luck or was it preparation meeting the opportunity that came in? But having teased them about what we're going to get
Sure.
to, let's go back and say you were born in Iran. Tell us about you growing up in Iran. You went to school where?
Yeah, I was born in Karaj, and grew up there. As you know, Tehran is a small city next to Karaj. It's a suburb of. I went there and I grew up there. Both my parents were math teacher, high school math teacher, and I have a older brother and older sister who really likes math. So I grew up in a house full of math books and people solving puzzles all the time. So that affects me a lot. So that's kind of my
Did
childhood.
you like math?
I did, yeah, I did.
More than your brothers and sisters?
No, I don't think so, no. No,
Then what happened?
then nothing happened. So I went, I went and I studied.
Sidekick to his show.
I went and studied to get into Maths Olympiad. Dr. Tabesh here. I tried my best to get there. I couldn't. And by accident, I got into Computer Olympiad, like Information Olympiad. And I went to the second stage. We went to the 3 months camp, whatever that's called, and I got the silver medal there. And during that 3 months, I learned algorithms, data structure. I learned coding.
How old were you? How old were you?
16, 17, yeah. And that changed my life. From that point, I know how to code, and I used it during my career. And even though I went and studied electrical engineering, I wasn't a good electrical engineer. I was a good coder, but I never understood half of the courses.
So you understood the courses at Sharif. You went to Sharif.
I went to Sharif,
And
yes.
you had to take the concours.
Concours,
What
yes.
was your rank?
I knew it's gonna. So I was 58, I think. But I was in zone 2. I was from Karaj, you know, it's a mandateur mahroum, and like I was basically DI. So like,
So what happened at Sharif? What did you do? You studied electrical engineering and you got your master's there too, or you?
no,
You went to Danishgah,
Tehran. I went to University of Tehran. I got my master still in EE, electrical. Yeah, I got my master there, and then I came to University of Michigan.
Why did you come to the University of Michigan, among all places?
I was working at that time, but then they couldn't pay me. They couldn't pay in Iran. Yeah. So I was poor, so I decided to continue my education at that time.
And why did you go to Michigan? Why not Stanford?
I didn't even apply. I said, okay, they never get me. So I applied to like 4 or 5 places, and I decided to go University of Michigan. Yeah.
And what happened there? You're still doing double E, or you moved into
Computer engineering. Yeah.
And what made you move it? It was a certain professor who did that, right?
Yeah.
Projects that
I have friends, and I knew the professor from before. Yeah.
Okay. So where was your introduction to CUDA? Was it during your PhD program, or was it after that?
So, second day that I came to US, I went to the office to visit my advisor, and he started talking about this new way of accelerating applications, which is called CUDA. This is 2009, and CUDA came out end of 2007, 2008.
One second. How many people know what CUDA is? Okay, a fair number of them. For those of you who don't know, he will explain. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's a lot. So CUDA is a way to program NVIDIA graphics card. It's basically C++ with few keywords attached to it. It lets you express your program in what we call massively parallel way that works really fast on GPUs. You can write your code and run it really fast on these graphics cards. So that's the language that NVIDIA made.
So I want to know what point in your life did you start thinking about a startup? That's what most of people in this room are struggling with.
Yeah, so
And
I,
what made you successful?
I, I, I got my PhD was all about writing compilers for NVIDIA graphics card. And now looking back, that was a good time there. That was a good investment. Like you heard all about NVIDIA GPUs. But at that time, it wasn't that clear. We were working on weather forecasting or things like that. It wasn't that, like, the market wasn't that big. So I finished that, and I was thinking about joining a big company or starting a new company. And at that time, Angry Birds was really popular. Like I don't know how many people remember Angry Birds. It was the first game. It was making millions of dollars in few weeks. And I was so psyched about it. I thought, okay, I'm gonna make another Angry Bird. And then I have this wise classmate. We were in the same team. He told me, you don't know anything about making games. Why don't you do... Ankit, yeah, Ankit. So he told me that do something that you know. And all I knew at that point, how to write CUDA program, how to write a really good CUDA program. And we went to our advisor and we started talking about, okay, we want to start a company about CUDA. And
But you didn't know you want to accelerate what?
we didn't know what, we just,
Game, self-driving car?
anything, we didn't care. We just know that we have this hammer, we want to find a nail for it. So that's all. We,
Usually not a good
it's not suggested, yeah. So we went to him and we got introduced to this concept through NSF. It's called lean startup. The idea is before getting an office, before hiring a secretary, go figure out if someone buys your idea, if someone pays for your product. So we started customer discovery. I cold called around 1,000 people, and I talked with 100 people. And I asked them, like, do you need something to run faster? Do you need anything? Do you need any help from me? I can run stuff faster for you. Do you need that? And everyone wants it. Everyone wants to run things faster. Then I asked them, do you pay for it? And everyone said no. We never pay for this stuff. At the beginning, it was compiler, and everyone said compiler is free. No one paid for it. And as most of you know, compiler is free. No one pays for compiler these days. So we figured out after 3 rounds of customer discovery, stop me whenever I'm going. Okay. Okay, good. So after 3 rounds of customer discovery, we find a few markets like gaming, financial, and genomics. Gaming was NVIDIA all over it. We couldn't do anything. Like, they didn't need our help. NVIDIA was doing, because market was there. Gaming is NVIDIA market. So we went to financial, and they said...
Hold on 1 second. Let me just interject. Gaming is NVIDIA's market because they were focused on graphics.
Graphics, yeah.
Okay. They were focused on moving, a lot of matrix operations in parallel.
Yeah.
They haven't looked at other areas such as genomics, which is coming up.
They did, actually, before us. Let me tell you about that. Then we went to financial. They told us to go to talk with high-frequency trading people. And we went to and we talked with them. They said, dude, we have 50 engineers and 40 instructions. These 50 engineers' job is to move these 40 instructions up and down one at a time and see if they can cut microseconds of it. And we couldn't do anything there. And we went to genomics. NVIDIA tried to do genomics few years before us, and they failed. Later, we figured out, we made a couple of really good decisions, and GPU memory got bigger. So we could fit a human reference genome inside one GPU. And that was a big breakthrough that helps us being so.
Company or person that led you to that? Was it NVIDIA or was somebody from outside that said genome projects require this very, very fast?
So during that customer discovery, I talked with many of these. So I made a video about this before. So that customer discovery gave us the idea and gave us our first customers. Basically, we asked people what do you need, and they said, okay, if you can accelerate this bioinformatics pipeline that I have, it's really important. And then when we accelerate that, we went back to them and sold the same product to them. So that was really interesting, yeah.
What was the product?
Parabricks product.
Yeah, for what application?
Oh, okay. So when I get sick, I go to clinic, they take a blood sample, and then they put this blood sample into these giant machines called sequencers, and they're mostly made by Illumina. That's a big name in genomics. And that generates lots of, so if you look at human genome, it's 3 billion characters, ACGT, right? 3 billion bases. They generate short reads, basically 100, 150 bases. And you don't know where in this 3 billion these 100 come from. It's like solving a jigsaw puzzle with billions of pieces, but you have a picture on the box. That reference genome that is made by spending billions of dollars is your picture on the box, and you have billions of these pieces that came out of the sequencer. And my job, my company's job, was to put together these pieces and make that big genome, and then find the differences between this patient-specific genome and reference genome. And those differences are what we call mutations, variants. And then that can be a sign of disease, that can be a sign of disease in the future, stuff like that. SNPs, yeah. And when we started this computation, going from jigsaw, those reads all the way to SNPs, to mutations, took around 2 days on a big CPU server. And now I'm talking with you, it takes with Parabricks on NVIDIA GPUs, we can do it sub 10 minutes, like around 8 minutes.
So other people have tried this at that time, but most of them, including our dear friend, I guess Bani Asafi, who was here a few months ago, they tried pure software solution for that.
Yeah.
They tried to do clever mathematical ways of trying to solve it. You had the advantage of doing it with hardware, which was just coming into maturation for your job.
Yeah, and actually Nargis paved the way for us. It's 1,000 times harder to make a new market than entering already semi-established market. So Nargis went to all these people and told them that you need acceleration. All I need to do was to tell them I can run it faster. And it's interesting. Around the same time, there was Parabricks, there was another company which was running faster on CPUs, and there was another company which was running faster on FPGAs. And all three of us competing at the same time.
So where was the 5 years that you worked on this company, where was the turning point for you to realize that you're facing a huge success? Was it when NVIDIA came to you and said we are interested to acquire your company, or was it before that you were seeing the ramp?
So we saw the ramp up because of NVIDIA. There weren't investors, but something else happened. So NVIDIA headquarters didn't know. We were too small for them. They didn't even look at us. We kept trying to get their attention. They didn't give it to us. So what we ended up doing, we became friends with their sales team, with NVIDIA sales team. Those sales team want to sell GPUs to hospitals, clinics, research centers, and they didn't have the software. So they went there, they went to the hospital and said, okay, buy this GPU. And the doctor would say, like, what should I run on it? And then they told them, like, okay, buy the software from these guys. So what happened is, without having any salesperson, we got, I think, Japan in 1 year, we got Singapore, we got Thailand, and we basically worked with this sales team, and at that point, NVIDIA realized that, okay, they're making some money in healthcare without having real solution to solve on the genomics side. And that's the point, that's what's the breaking point.
So they came and encouraged you to develop the solution for the genome? Was it NVIDIA's collaboration with you, or was it when they took you in-house and paid for it?
So actually, they wanted us to give the software for free. Of course, they wanted because they could sell the GPUs. All my friends from NVIDIA here, I shouldn't have said that, but they pushed us to make it free. Like, why don't you make it free? Like, do the Red Hat route. Make it free and open source it and support it. Of course, they like it because their customers would buy GPUs immediately. Now they need to think, do I need hardware and software? Do I need to pay for both? But if it was free, then when they acquired us, they changed their mind. Like, why shouldn't we sell the software? Let's sell the software as well. But at the end of the day, we decided to make it free. But yeah, they didn't like extra software at that time. But what triggered them at the end, that's another funny story. So Illumina acquired our competitor, the one that runs on FPGA. And that's a scary moment. Illumina is a big company, and they're investing in FPGA, which means genomics might run on FPGA. So that's when NVIDIA made a really smart decision to buy us. And now we are working with 100% of the market to use Parabricks for their sequencing.
Let's focus on the company that you built with your friend, Ankit.
Ankit, yeah.
And with the support of your professor at the University of
Yeah.
Michigan. And at the end of it, when you sold it to NVIDIA, you told me there were 10 people.
10, yeah.
So for 4 years with 10 people, you worked very hard and made it. What was your secret? What did you do right? Because everybody here wants to do it.
Technical or mentally?
Surprise me.
Okay, technical, we made some important decisions that at that time we didn't know they were that important, but now looking back, I can claim I was really smart. But one, we just limit our market to the servers with 2 GPUs. This seems random, 2 GPUs or more. This seems completely random because, like, why don't you support people with 1 GPU in their server? It came out, it's easier when people who have 2 GPUs in their server, they have better server. They have more RAM, they have better CPU without us asking them. One thing, so it was easier, right, for that. But the more important thing is they have money that they could afford the server with 2 GPUs. And we didn't waste our time. We limit our market to those who have money. So that was one of the smart things. The other thing that we did is we didn't have bioinformatics background. So what we did, we replicate the tool that they were using exactly, bit by bit, but running much, much faster. So if the original tool that they're using crash, we crash too. Like, exactly the same. So this removed the friction to adopt. They can adopt easily. I just told them they didn't need to validate my result. They just need to run their old pipeline and my pipeline, and this runs 100 times faster, give the exact same result. We never claim we are giving better result, better bioinformatics result than what you have. We just said we make it 100 times faster.
And what was the mental prowess that you had?
Having Ankit, because starting a company is a roller coaster. Like the whole the time you're doing this, you feel, so morning you feel high, like everything, I'm gonna conquer the world. But by the night, some customer cancel their order and you feel like, okay, this is it, I'm done. I'm doomed, I wasted all my life. But for some reason, these roller coasters, me and Ankit, weren't high at the same time or weren't low at the same time. We have some phase difference. Yeah. So at each point, if you look at it, one of us are depressed and the other one is high. So, but The high person keeps moving. So company always moving, although it was one person at the time, but it keeps moving ahead. So that was really helpful. That's why I'm suggesting everyone to have co-founder.
You have the advantage, well, it's not an advantage. You have this unique thing attached to your name that you're in the Guinness World of Book of World Record.
I do, yeah.
You know Guinness World of Book of World Record, everybody? You know, the fastest or whoever can eat so many hamburgers and all that. Yours is in a legitimate area.
Yeah. Eating the most
How many
hamburgers.
did you?
Eating the most. Yeah, so it's so this is a funny story. No one cares I sold the company. No one cares I did this, I did that. When they hear that, okay, you're using Guinness record, everyone's like, oh, you did something great. So I was small part of big team, including Stanford, Google, Oxford Nanopore, and some other companies. What we did, we have the fastest sample to diagnosis time. So we took like 12 patients, and previous record was 14 hours. We reduced it to 7 hours. So for those 12 patients, we can reduce from getting the sample all the way to diagnosis done with the doctor in 7 hours. And that is really important for newborn babies with rare diseases. You have really short amount of time. And it's so I don't know exactly about those 12 patients, what happened to them, but they told me that one of them got heart transplant right in time, and they saved him. So I'm really proud of that. I keep saying that I was part of that. Thank you, thank you.
Now, after you sold your company and you spent the requisite time of, I think, 4 years that you had to lead the team and be in the company and golden bracelet, you decided to become an individual contributor. That's what you do right now.
Yeah.
You have free time to learn about anything that you want. That's what you do.
Yeah.
Okay. Why?
So yeah, we work 4 years to make Parabricks, as I said, like working with 100% of the market. We worked really hard. I had a great team. And at some point, I realized that this is too good of a team. They didn't need me. And I was basically holding them back. I realized that, okay, it's time for me to move on to the next step. And I had two paths, basically going to the managerial route or going to individual contributor. And I talked with one of my friends, and he gave me a good advice. He said it doesn't matter. Like, it looks really good become a VP or something. It looks really good. But the same things keeps happening, like people lay off or they might close the company and stuff like that. Go where you feel the best most. Like, go where you feel appreciated. And I decided to go, I didn't want to manage only people. I want to have an impact. Like, I didn't want to talk about vacation and stuff. That's for me most of the managing time. Like, so I decided to, and this deep learning revolution was happening. I wanted to be part of it, so I started to learn that. So NVIDIA was kind to me, and my manager was kind to me to let me switch and become pure deep learning researcher at this point.
There are so many interesting things about you that I would like to poke all of them. Unfortunately, we don't have time for all of them, but I want to go into that area that you're doing this. Well, first you did a few podcasts.
Yeah,
People called you,
I'm a professional podcast guest at this point.
But that gave you an idea. I think that gave you an idea that you have created your own one-on-one slots of time. You're giving away your slots of time on Fridays.
Yes.
That's how I understand it. An hour at a time. Anybody can sign up, and they would have a one-on-one with you about anything they want. Which, when I heard, I said, "Can I sign up?" He said, "Well, I'm booked for next 3 months." But tell me why you did that and what has come out of it so far.
Thanks a lot for bringing that up. Actually, I'm here for that reason. I said all of this to tell you this.
You promised me you'd give me a good slot if I mention it.
Yeah. So, so here what happened. I went to all these podcasts. Some of you saw some of them, and I became semi-famous. I became an influencer, whatever you want to call it. And people reach out to me, keep reaching out to me, and they want to talk with me. And you know this influencer market, right? People think that, okay, this guy influencer, he knows everything. I should contact him. That's the thing. And I wanted to give everyone some time, and I decided to put this calendar, but as I just said, the calendar is full. But I keep telling everyone there are way more qualified people uh, in Iberia, in Europe, everywhere that you need to reach out and talk with them. And don't just contact someone who see on YouTube. Like go search for them and contact them. And I keep talking about cold calling with people. I keep talking with them. And I know there are many more qualified in this room right now to talk with those people, to talk with 17 years old girl who is contacting you from some rural village around Kashan, and she wants to know what happens with AI. I beg all of you to spend some time, to allocate some time on your LinkedIn and whatever you can to talk with people. And answer those cold calls, please. Like I sent them your way, so please answer those and talk with them. Last year, I think I talked with 400 people, more than 400 people, and I enjoyed not all of them, but 99% of them. And it was really fun. I learned a lot, and I'm pretty sure you will enjoy it too.
Reza, tell us about a few of the nuggets that you learned or encountered during these 400 interviews.
So this girl contacted me from the village, and she's amazing. I will bring her to one of the podcasts soon. So she's setting up this venture studio. Basically, she has all these startups. One of them is just cooking food. Mom's cooking food, and she delivers them. She's supporting them. She makes website for them. She funds them. And the other one, she makes all these toys and sell it in schools. And there are like really young, like elementary school students come to her office, and they make these toys and go and sell to their classmates. And that's how they learn business and stuff like that.
Budding entrepreneur. So what did she want from you, or what did you contribute to her?
She was asking about how to run startup, what ideas I have, stuff like that. Yeah.
That's a very convenient lead into my next one. Everybody, well, almost everybody here wants to run a startup. What is your advice for people? What do you see the future for the people who would like to get into, some of the known industries, data science, genomics, et cetera, et cetera. What is the future that you see for them for the next 5 years, and what are the do's and don'ts that you would advise them?
That's really hard question. Like it's
Well, so far you've been
Oh,
you've
so,
been
the-
three paths.
so I would say knowing the market would be the first one. This cold calling, this customer discovery helped me a lot. And unless you're making a Facebook, which no one knows what it is at that point, probably you need to talk with your customers and see if they're gonna pay for it. That's really important one. And don't ignore deep learning.
Don't what?
Don't ignore deep learning.
Don't
Yeah.
ignore that deep learning. What is your view of AI? Is it not going to be self-sufficient, providing everybody has learned deep learning? Because one AI program can do the job of 250 people programming.
One person with AI can do job of 250 people, and I don't think we're gonna replace that. So we're still gonna coexist for some time, and after that they will.
How long?
5 years.
5 years.
That's a long time at this scale, right? 5 years.
Well, I don't know. Other people's opinion might be different, and that's when we enter the question. I'll floor for some of the brilliant minds to ask you some questions. Please raise your hand if you want to ask a question. We're going to go to Vani first, formerly known as Nima.
Hi, thank you, Mirza. My name is Mani. It's a hard question for me, you know. Every day I'm in one business. Today I'm in real estate. Today morning I have 12 hours training, so I can say I'm in real estate right now. Tomorrow is another day. So Mirza, I have a question. I think you are so much spiritual, yeah? Are you spiritual?
In what sense? Spiritual.
I mean, for
As a religious person, no.
No, I mean, do you go with the flow, for example? Because when you explain about what you were doing, you don't know what is the next step.
Oh, I'm not perfectionist, if that's what you're asking. I do my best, basically, and that saved my life many times. And that's one of the things that I've seen in people when I talk with them. They're all, I don't know if it's culture or I haven't talked with many outside Iranian community, but we are perfectionists, and that's not good. We need to do our best and keep going, and that's what I keep telling everyone. If that's, probably that's what you get, yeah, not a spiritual.
Anybody else has a question? Okay, over here. Please raise your hand so I know for the next question. You have one already?
Hi, my name is Ardalan and I'm a system architect at Cisco System Wireless. So I have a specific question about running the generative AI, specifically LLMs on the edge devices. I know most of the vendors and silicon companies are now either having already or will have NPUs in their platforms. Do you see in terms of the startup, industry and market is going to be big in this area? Is it too late to get into that field, that area, or too soon? What do you think about that?
Running LLM on
the phone, on the edge devices, instead of
this.
Everyone is talking about cloud at the moment.
No. This is huge. Like all the robotics stuff, and imagine having all this smaller and smaller and smaller. Robotics is the future. That's like we passed text, image, video, and we are getting into robotics, and that's everyone's eyes are now. And making it smaller, making it edge is a big next breakthrough. And yeah, tomorrow is late, but now it's a good time. Yeah.
Hi everyone. My name is Reza. My name is Reza. I have a startup, aerospace. So my question is back to the being spiritual. What helped you like keep going? Like maybe a hard wall, or for a while you're like out of idea, or like those hard days. What helped you keep going?
I had people to pay. That was the main thing. Like it was too late to fail at that point. I had this moment that I had 1 month of salary in my bank, and one of my employees came to me and he invited me to his wedding next month. And I was thinking, like, what the hell? Like, I don't know if you have a job in the next month. Like, don't get married. I didn't tell her. But that was a hard moment. Like, that makes me keep going. And yeah, besides that, we were helping people to save lives. And we saw some of those, so it was really motivating.
Hi, my name is Amir. I'm a data scientist and an entrepreneur. I want to ask you about your, have you ever had a dispute with your co-founder? Have you had to solve it? And the second thing is, when did you decide to be full-time? When did you decide to fully dedicate yourself and go on?
So we did have fights, but never big one. We stopped talking with each other for a day after each fight, and then they come back. But we never had a really big fight. But when I got my first money, it was a grant, it was an NSF grant. I switch immediately, yeah. No, 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 it's phase one, 250K. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Yasemin and I'm working in data science at Walmart. So I'm sure actually that in your career you have made a lot of great decisions, like doing your PhD, like starting your own company. But if you were to choose one, what do you think would have been the best decision that you have ever made in your career?
Best decision, I think learn coding. Like that changed everything. That's I wasn't interested, or honestly, in the rest of the courses that I took, but coding saved me, and it was just right timing. It was luck, basically. But yeah, I would say coding.
Mirza Jan, I'm Reza. I'm an optical engineer at Amazon. Thank you for sharing your very insightful, cool story of life. That's so amazing.
Sure.
So what's the next steps? Any reason why you're not starting any startups, given that you're working on the edge and
Yeah, so I will. I'm thinking. I was thinking of new ideas. I'm helping entrepreneurs. I'm advising some startups. If I find a good idea, market is super noisy for me at this point. I'm trying to figure out what is the right next move. But yeah, I'm looking for it. I shouldn't have said that. I'm working. I have a full time. Yeah. Hey.
Great talk. Really learned a lot. My name is Sasan. I'm a data scientist. I have done an e-commerce startup before, and I'm working on the second one right now. My question is, at what point is a good time to start monetizing? Because one strategy for the early stage startup is just give the product out for free and just get the feedback from the customers. Is that a good strategy? Just give it for free, and basically, what point at what price is a good idea to monetize?
So monetize earlier the better, I would say. But it depends on the startup. It's not a general advice for everyone. But you know what is the best sign that I can see is not free, paid trials. That's amazing. If you see those paid trials, they pay a little bit. They pay like $100. Like you know why I'm saying that? If you are like B2B type of companies, if you get $100 from any business, going from that 100 to 20,000 is much easier than the first 100 because you need to go through their whole system, learn how they work, how they write checks. That's a challenge by itself. If you get that $100, means they are invested.
Hello, my name is Ryan. I'm a senior in college, and I'm just getting into robotics. I was wondering if you had any advice for someone just getting into the field, and like why you think robotics is the future.
So I reach out by many parents for their young generations, like young children, and what's your advice? Robotics is great, what you're doing is great, but what I want you to do is keep your eyes open and love the learning process. If you get excited by learning, you'll have a bright future ahead of you. And the thing is, things are changing really fast. Like right now, robotics is really fun and exciting. 2 years, 3 years, it might not be. But as long as you are learning that fast, as long as you enjoy learning, you will be on top of it. So I don't have any suggestion for robotics at this point for you. You are doing great. You are in the hot topic. But just know that your hot topic might not be hot 2 years from now. And you should be able, be flexible. That's what is important. Like, we used to be a carpenter for several generations, right? Grandparent, parent, child. And then we become electrical engineer for one generation, then computer engineer for half a generation. Now my job change every 4 years. And I'm guessing your job will change every 1 year, every year or something like that. So be ready for that. Be flexible and enjoy learning new things. Thank
Questions. One, I really love to hear how did you go from loving the code to building compiler for your PhD? I'm curious to follow the process. And second is, what's your plan for when you get replaced by AI?
So for second question, I'm doing my best to make sure that happens. Like I'm in the coding team. We are trying to make LLMs that code really good, code better than us. So I'm doing my best myself. About the first question is, it happened basically. I apply at that time. When you apply, you just look at the professor and you look at the, and I got into compiler team. I did compiler, but mostly I was learning this CUDA, GPU programming and stuff like that. But compiler is really hard. Like I appreciate anyone doing compiler. That's a hard topic.
Last question goes to.
Hi, I'm Zara. I'm an ophthalmology researcher from Stanford. One question, you mentioned that you followed like new methodology and kind of like comparing the deep tech kind of like wave that's coming. Do you think lean methodology would work as well for these deep tech startups with like longer cycles, scientific like approach, or do you think there should be like new methodology for startup development, customer discovery?
So it depends on what startup. The lean methodology is really good for some type of startups. Some like mine, like deep technology, B2B, which takes time. But if you're working on new deep learning agent, deep learning chatbot or something like that, which you can make the product really fast. It takes you 1 month to do it. Going to the market and be the first to the market, that makes more sense than talking with people. Just put it out there and see who buys it, who start using it. So it really depends on the idea. Sometimes lean startup works, sometimes not. You shouldn't wait. You just need to ship it.
Very good. Thank you very much. Mirza Jan, thank you very much for making the time to be with us and to answer all these questions. On behalf of the Persian Tech Network, Plug and Play, the Amity Group, and the Persian community, I would like to appreciate your presence over here. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Mirza will be here for a few minutes, maybe a few hours. I mean, he asked for it actually, right?
I did.
And you can ask further questions from him. And I would like to emphasize to you, spend the rest of the time that you're here to make connections with strangers. Try to go to someone and introduce yourself and try to learn about what they do. This is your mission here.
Cold call, cold call.
Cold call. Thank you.
به شما خوش گذشت؟
سلام. خیلی